using the scientific method, which I try to apply. What I want to mention today are two facts. One is that Don Rumsfeld tried to use an immunity plea effectively for the alleged torture of two American contractors in Iraq. And the judge denied his request to dismiss the case and has permitted the suit to go forward. And the question is, what are, Rasmussen, Secretary General of NATO, Barack Obama, President of the United States, David Cameron, Prime Minister of England, Great Britain, Nicolas Sarkozy of France, Berlusconi, Silvio Berlusconi, the Qatari government, what are these players and all of the other NATO participants? If this action in Libya of aiding the rebels on the basis of a ceasefire resolution is legally analyzed and they are found to be out of compliance in a way that would suggest deceit, and if you look at the basis of what we've got with Rumsfeld, they could be, let's look at what's happened. So the first article of the resolution to begin the no-fly zone in Libya was to establish a ceasefire in conjunction with the African Union. So let's look. Remember, Gaddafi is irrelevant, whether you like him or dislike him. Probably you don't like him. We've all been taught not to like him. Now, the one thing is that if you actually study Libya, you're going to come away with a different opinion. I will say that Libya was one of the least free countries in the world, yet it had the highest social services and standard of living for the average bloke in Africa or the Middle East, virtually 1 or 2 points behind on a 1 to 100 scale of Chile and Argentina. So there's a lot we don't know about Libya and Gaddafi, that basically they went from poorest country in Africa to richest, and 2/3 of that ride was with Gaddafi. They have huge amounts of money and no debt. So one must study it. I can't say what you're going to come out with, but this is not about Gaddafi. It's not about his direct democracy, what he calls it, the Jamahiriya, which might represent village councils that do have some local control, perhaps a lot, but when it comes to big decisions, it seems like a kind of East German system. And East Germany did very well in the Olympics, but a lot of people wanted to get out of it. And there are, people from former socialist countries that do wish for some of the things they had there, giant, Olympic swimming pools and universities and so forth, but at a cost. So since NATO intervened about March 19th, from what I've been able to determine, we might have 100 to 200 civilians killed by the regime. The Gaddafi sitting Libyan, let's say the sitting Libyan government, because Gaddafi's role is, let's say he exerts this control, but it's not with an official legal position. He's actually not even in the government officially. He's brother leader. Now we can establish, if you look at all the different indexes, that NATO has killed 1,100 to 2,000 people. So the pretext of protecting civilians looks like fraud by a normal suit basis, because actually more people are being killed as civilians by NATO than by any other force. Now, if you say that they simply were ignorant, then the press really would be culpable, because they haven't provided us with this information. They've kept trying to revert back to this line that is black and white, that there's clearly no question, there's no complexity. So the documented atrocities were because we claim they were mercenaries, which Amnesty International on June 26 couldn't find, along with Doctors Without Borders. That was when they put in their report. They found no mercenaries. I'm not saying there were or weren't mercenaries, but here's something that now has to be investigated. What happened was it created a rumor that basically anybody black in Libya was a mercenary. So a lot of black construction workers, because Libya had a huge amount of foreign guest workers, just like a lot of oil-producing countries. And these guest workers were attacked, some of them even dismembered. And they found that loyalists have been targeted and killed in rebel areas, and that actually the rebels have been harsher on loyalists than by I would say by a long shot, if you read 100 articles on Libya, even from the mainstream media by and large. So it seems that there was a fraud, which is that we went in as a policeman charged to stop a fight and instead assisted one party in beating the holy crap out of the other. And this may be funny to people that are used to having impunity, but if impunity is removed, if the mask is taken off of this activity, these people are all in very serious trouble. And if we can get accountability, and that, so we have a charge that would be hundreds and hundreds of counts of grand theft, because there is a Libya sanctions committee that's supposed to distribute any of this money that was frozen. It's not supposed to be given by Britain or so forth. It's supposed to go through because we're a signatory and we've agreed to that. Our president is bound to abide by UN 1973. We wrote it. Okay, so how does this affect the average American, other than if you are silent about at this point about Afghanistan,